I gave my dad his money back in front of his other kids and told him he was no longer welcome at my graduation. My graduation ceremony is being held next week. My dad had given me some money in advance to pay for the party. I live mostly with my mom, but they were supposed to be hosting the event together. My dad and I have had a very rocky relationship, but that wasn't always the case. After my parents divorced when I was 5, they split custody of me, and he remained a good dad. But when I turned 10, my dad met Jane. Jane had 3 kids, twins, and a single child. They married when I was 12, and even before that, I felt like he prioritized her kids over me. He started canceling plans with me. If his other kids wanted to do something, he would either do things with them or force me to go, claiming it was even better than our plans. In reality, it wasn't like going for a hike with me versus taking them to an indoor play area or seeing a movie with me versus going to a kiddie park. Another example is when I received a ticket for a concert to see a band that my dad and I both love. He was supposed to buy a ticket to join me for some quality father-son bonding time. Instead, he bailed on me to spend money on his youngest stepchild, who wanted their room painted. He informed me the same day, and it hurt immensely because I missed spending time with my dad. There have been other instances like this. He didn't show up at the hospital when I broke my arm because his stepchild was getting their tonsils removed and wanted both him and his wife there. He told my mom over the phone to relay that he was proud of me for being brave and understanding, even though I never agreed to such nonsense. When I confronted him about these issues, he dismissed my feelings as natural jealousy over sharing his attention. In 2019, he told my mom that he would split the cost of a trip I wanted to go on with my friends because she couldn't afford it on her own. My mom had saved her half. When we told my dad it was his turn to contribute, he said money was tight due to the twins' birthdays and that the funds would go towards them instead. He suggested a family activity during the time of the trip. Instead, I told him to forget it, as he was making it abundantly clear who mattered more in his life. I decided to stay with my mom where I felt valued. She borrowed money to cover the other half of the trip. My dad later expressed regret for making me feel less important, and we were working on mending our relationship. Then, about a month ago, he gave me money for my upcoming graduation. A week ago, he called to say that one of his stepkids was being bullied and was having a difficult time. He suggested using my graduation money to cheer them up for their birthday. I was livid. I hung up the phone, showed up at his doorstep 2 days later, returned the money, and told him he and his new family were not welcome at my graduation. I added that he had clearly chosen who was more important to him, so he better stay out of my life. I told him I never wanted to see his face again. His stepkids and 2 younger biological children were present. I didn't stick around. He later called to say we needed to talk it out like adults and that I had hurt the children's feelings. His wife also lashed out at me, so I blocked her. Am I the jerk?